Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm super excited to sit down with you guys again. It's been a minute since I've had a sit down with you guys. Today I'm going to be speaking on why we decided to homeschool our boys. So stay tuned and I'm going to be sharing that with you guys. So first of all, I want to take you guys back to a couple of years ago, because in reality, now that I look back, God already had been preparing us even then to start this journey of homeschooling. And I've shared before in the past, I had no idea what homeschooling was. I just knew all my life I went to public school and I lived in a very more close-minded, very our way mentality. So homeschool, I had no idea that that was a thing. And so back in 2020, when we had Andrew, he was 2, so we had him 2018, I'm sorry. But when he was 2, I remember very vividly working from home and kind of just talking to God and saying, what is something I can learn while I'm sitting here in this job? I was sitting in my room here in our house, and I prayed to learn something that can benefit me, further my education. It's always good to be learning, you know. And so I prayed about it, and it's God just led me to type finances, advice on finances, something like that. And so that started such a beautiful walk for me and my husband. And I will say that the reason why I was praying that was because I knew before my son was diagnosed with autism, our 7-year-old, that we would need to get him extra help of some sort. I just knew in my heart that he was not diagnosed, but I knew there was something going on. And it got me to thinking to better myself, to take life more serious, to, do my best as I can as a parent. And so God led me to type in the area of finances. So what happened is Dave Ramsey came up and I dived into all his information, the 7 baby steps. You guys can also look it up, and it was very helpful to us to embark in that journey. I took this information to my husband and I was so happy about it and excited and just ready to tackle our debt, pay everything off, and just live a debt-free life. It just sounded so good, and it sounded like something I wanted to do, especially thinking for my son's future, Andrew. At the time, we only had Andrew. So with that being said, we later that year became debt-free. We tackled a good amount of debt, some payments that we had, some credit cards, a car on payments, and after that, we never looked back. And by the grace of God and because of his goodness, we have not ended up being back in debt or anything like that. It did take a lot of sacrifice. It did take a lot of saving money, a lot of saying no to things, a lot of thrifting instead of going to buy the new stuff, a lot of time consuming. I would go and thrift at 2 or 3 stores to go find what we needed if it was a dress for an occasion. But anyway, it took a lot of sacrifice on our end for about closer to a year to get out of debt. So when we worked in that direction, it actually built us to become different people as far as our mindset, as far as, I always like to say, we were able to work out that muscle, pretty much, the getting out of debt free. It took work, it took sacrifice, it took time, it took a lot from us. And in a world full of like instant gratification, you see someone has this, someone has that, you want to get it, you want to buy it, you want to keep up with the Jones, whatever you want to like view it as. So it really did build me and my husband's character, our new mentality around money. We became different in that area, and it was not easy, but once you got into that mentality, I would say that it did become easy. It was an easy no, an easy, I don't need this right now. An easy, oh, we're not gonna, we get asked at the stores, do you wanna apply for this credit card and you get 10% off today or 20% off, or it's an easy no for us now. And So I say all of this, guys, to say God was already having in plan that I would be at home with our child Andrew and our future 2 kids that we have now. And it took some sacrifice. It took some sacrifice changing our lifestyle, changing our mentality, and just learning to, I guess, have a discipline in that area. You hear a lot of people win the lottery, or they get money from an inheritance, or I don't know, whatever, wherever the money comes from. When it comes just like this and you don't actually know the value of it because you didn't have to work, you didn't have to learn through it, the process, it's easily lost. When money comes that easy, it could be easily lost because you didn't really work your way up to that, you know? So I see a lot of people that win the lottery 2 to 3 years down, they're either broke, or sadly, they even commit suicide for some reason. And that is another thing. Money doesn't bring you happiness. So anyway, so I say all of this, guys, to say when I decided to homeschool, it was a decision that I was going to make, that I'm going to no longer work as well. I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom. We're going to go down to one income. You know, my husband's going to be the only provider. We're going to continue to work that muscle of saving, of being good stewards of our money, of saying yes to the right things and no to the things that are not going to add any value or benefit our family. So when homeschooling came about, I guess I'll start with Andrew did do preschool, and then he did preschool another year. He did 2 years of preschool, and then half of a year of kinder. And so after that break is when everything changed for us and for our little guy. They would send a report card every day since the 2 years in preschool and the half a year in kinder. It would be sent with his backpack, and he would get greens a lot. So green was good, yellow was, not so good, and then the red was, he had a rough day. And after that break, I noticed that either something changed, whether there's a new teacher or maybe one less teacher or a new student. Something was now triggering him and he was having a hard time. So when that happened, I thought to myself, what changed? The teachers were, for Andrew, like in our situation, his teachers were amazing. I know I'm not supposed to, but I followed them on Facebook, and I knew, I got a glimpse of who they are. They were believers. They loved on Andrew. They trained. They would wear these autism shirts like every other Friday. They would be excited to share with me when I would pick him up that they trained, they learned some new techniques, and they were very intentional, and I had so much peace in that. But like I said, once my child, when Andrew started having those 2 weeks, it was yellow or red, yellow, red. It didn't sit well with me. I was a little worried. I'm like, why is he biting? Why is he even pulled the little girl's hair, which I felt so bad for the little girl. And then just the teachers, are they having a hard time with him? I know those report cards are not going to be super detailed and tell me every bad thing that he did, but that's just what was happening. And prior to that, I was already watching this podcast on YouTube on a beautiful family that homeschools, that come from homeschooling themselves. They were homeschooled, and then now they're homeschooling their children. And that's how I got to know about homeschooling. I don't know. I mean, was I living under a rock? I don't know, maybe. But that's how I learned about homeschooling. And it just sounded so beautiful. It sounded like, man, that is an awesome goal. You get to teach your children. You get to instill in them the actual values, in schools, you never know who's around them and what influence is going on, especially as they get older. Right now they're young, so it's not as big of a deal. But anyway, that happened and I lost my train of thought. So I was watching that podcast and I was feeling in my heart like I actually would want to do that. I've always wanted to be a teacher. Since I was little, I always wanted to be a teacher. And the reason I never pursued it was because I did not want to get into debt. Like 30, 40, $50,000 of debt for school, it just scared me. And due to my situation, I didn't have the support to even obtain financial aid, but I'm not going to get into all those details. God already had a plan for me anyways. So I talked to my husband about it, and I said, hey, like, I've been feeling in my heart like that maybe I should homeschool. What do you think about that? And I do believe I was already a stay-at-home. I had just left my job a couple months prior to that, my work from home, because by then we had Andrew and we had Elijah. So we had 2 kids. And he was supportive. He's just like, I mean, yeah, if you feel in your heart, you're already home with the kids, you think Andrew's gonna, benefit from it, then I don't see why not. So then I just sat on that. And like I said, after the break, these report cards were coming in that Andrew was having such a hard time. And that would break my heart for not just Andrew, but even the teachers, because I knew that 2 of his teachers were really good, were amazing teachers. And I don't know, I just prayed about it, and I had so much peace in making that decision. And I emailed one of the teachers and I said, can we get on the phone sometime this week? I wanted to talk to you when you get a chance. And so, yep, immediately she made time that after school, and I got on the phone with her and I let her know. I said, look, Andrew has been having a hard time. I've noticed that something has changed that has been, triggering him, and he's not really happy to be heading to school anymore. And the report cards, I really appreciate your guys' honesty. That means a lot, especially because Andrew's nonverbal, and they were being honest with me on how he was doing. And so I showed my gratitude to her. I let her know it's not them. I'm gonna be pulling him out of school, and his last day is Friday, and I wanted to give you a heads up. And when she opened up to me, she pretty much was very honest, continued to be honest, and said, Claudia, that's the best thing that you guys can do for him. 8 hours is such a long time for these kids, and we see that they have a hard time, especially towards the end. And she started expressing her heart to the situation. And although she was sad to have him, be gone and not see him anymore, she was also happy. And then she also shared with me that Friday was going to be her last day, and they were going to be switching teachers due to a surgery that she needed to get done here soon. And so starting that following Monday, a teacher from 3rd grade was going to come and take her spot, and then Andrew's teacher was going to go to that 3rd grade class. So I had a couple of confirmations from God that I did do the right thing, and I was just with a big smile, just like thanking God for this smooth transition, and for looking out for Andrew and looking out for our family. And so that's how we decided to homeschool. We decided that that would be best. And I do understand, and I don't want to be inconsiderate of a lot of people nowadays. I do understand that they cannot do this. They cannot do it because of several reasons. And I don't want to judge. I don't want to say you're right or I'm right, or you're wrong or I'm wrong. I don't want to be coming across as judging, but I do want to say, if you are able to homeschool your children with all the circumstances that are going around in your life, and you're able to homeschool your children, I really encourage you guys to do it. It's a beautiful thing. The children get so much more than they would. Think about it. These kids are sent to school with 25 to 30 kids per class, one teacher, versus you as a parent, you get to give 2 or 3 or 4 children your attention. I feel like some people want to do it, but they can't. And I feel like some people straight up can't. So that's why the beauty in, at least in our state, is that you have the choice. You have the choice to send them to charter schools, public schools, private schools, Christian schools, and then homeschool. You have a variety of, choices, and not every child is going to thrive in, the same way of schooling. So I say that to just be considerate as I'm sharing my story. It's not a one fits all. I have a child that's nonverbal. He's special needs, and then we have 2 more children that are not on the spectrum. They're good, and for me, my heart has completely changed. If God willing, I want to homeschool all of my children, not just Andrew. And so I guess to that, there could be a lot of pros and cons. There could be, I do understand that some people may say they homeschool and they're not, or some people may take advantage or whatever. I don't want to focus on every detail. I'm just going to speak for myself. The benefits of Andrew I have shared here. So in kinder, he would not learn how to potty train. It was too much to probably have like that atmosphere, that room, and then that process, and then back home here. We tried for like 2 or 3 years. There was potty training in part of preschool, and then in kinder. And then so when he did get pulled out of school, within a month of constant, so again, he was out of my sight, out of my, teaching for 8+ hours because commute. So it's like 8 hours of school, but then the getting on the bus, the getting dropped off. So he was probably away from me closer to 10 hours. So for me to teach him with the very little time that I had left over was hard. But anyway, so he learned how to potty train within that month. He started picking up his own pencil, which he used to love to do hand over hand, which he still does here and there, and that's fine. But the picking up a pencil on his own was almost like impossible. Like he just would not do that. The teachers would tell me the same thing. He just wants us to do it. And so I started seeing so many changes right away. Again, confirmation after confirmation from God for our family. And I was just super excited. I got to like videotape some of those that I have shared here on the channel. And every milestone that he's completed, I am so happy I get to witness it. It's not like the teacher telling me, hey, he's doing it, which if I was in that situation, I would still be happy that they got to see it and let me know that he's doing it. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and leave it at that. That's the story behind why we're homeschooling, because Andrew was having a hard time. And I just felt like it was time for him just to be home with us and us do our part as parents, because God aligned it in such a way that we were able to be in this position in order to be able to homeschool, if that makes sense. That's why I shared the first part, because I feel like a lot of people don't do it because they cannot stop working and afford to just go down to one income. Or maybe our story will help you guys say, hey, let's buckle down, let's get out of debt, let's sacrifice a little bit so I can then homeschool next year or in 2 years from now. So there's ways around it. Another thing that I do here is I don't have the room. I don't have an extra room. I have shown Andrew's room, play area / homeschool, but honestly guys, that is more for fun time. I want to say most of our homeschooling time is in the kitchen table, and all you need is one of these, a caddy and a kitchen table. You do not need a whole room with learning toys, with posters, with a whiteboard, with a projector, whatever you may see out and about that homeschoolers has. A huge, massive desk, filing cabinets, a massive, bookshelves. Like, you don't need all of that to be able to homeschool your kids. In fact, when I look back on some videos of that podcast that encouraged me and opened my eyes into homeschooling, the mom of a lot of kids, she would sit in the kitchen table every day. Kitchen table. She never said I had a setup and I had a specific room. It was a kitchen table. As they did breakfast, they started, their worksheets or whatever curriculum they were working on. then they'd have outside time, go play outside, and then come in and do some more work, and then have lunch, and then finish it off with reading or something more relaxing. You don't need a whole room or a room itself like to homeschool. That's another thing that I hear a lot, and it makes me sad to think that that would be the only thing holding you back. But I really want to encourage you moms, if you're able to homeschool, do it, because man, like it's an amazing thing. But anyway, I'm gonna share with you guys some stuff that I have here. I have we're missing the letter F right now, but this is the board that I use for Andrew. He learned how to, well, he showed me that he knew how to spell with this board. So these letters come off, and he loves working with this board in specific. I've ordered probably like 5 times, because if it's not one letter going missing, you know, then all these letters go missing out of nowhere. So I've ordered this board a couple times, and I will continue to order this board because it's very helpful. I did share in a previous video that he spelled the word stop with this board, and so I'm gonna continue to have this board. And so I have a few activities here of we're approaching fall, so I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna be doing with him these next few weeks. And so this activity here are magnets that he's gonna be coloring. So we have a little turkey there, we have a basket. It comes with these wooden chips, so it's a magnet. You could actually showcase your work there in the fridge, which I will be hanging in the fridge. Then it comes with markers, but I also have other markers and pens that they're gonna get creative and color. And it has quite a few. I'm making a mess here, but it has quite a few fall, you know, theme activity. So that's an activity that I'm gonna do with Andrew. And as we have 2 more boys, they all enjoy to join. Elijah technically is in preschool, so he's been learning with us as well. This activity here, it's gonna be pretty much building their own little animals there, and a few little fall animals that they're gonna learn to put together. I have that. And then we have this autumn activity book that we're going to be focusing on. I just noticed that I'm also wearing like orange and then orange nails as I'm doing this. I'm like, hey, perfect outfit, perfect nail color. Anyway, so happy Thanksgiving book. I have been ordering lately from Amazon. So if you guys want to find some of this stuff, it's going to be on Amazon. This one is a sticker book. We have not tried this activity with Andrew at all, so I'm very curious how it's gonna go. I don't know if he's gonna do well or not, but it's pretty much working with numbers, and then you have stickers that belong, like you follow the numbers and the sticker pattern pretty much. Let me show you guys here. It's gonna be the truck. So here's the truck. And so that's a whole activity book that we're gonna also try to do. This here is pretty much a table mat, cover. I'm gonna use this probably a good handful of times. I'm gonna put it out there on the table and have them color it. And when we're done with our school or activity, I'm gonna fold it back up and use it as many times as I can, because why not? So we have that, and then I wanted to show you guys some recent buys as well that I'm gonna start using. So these are, I don't know if they're going viral or not, but they're what you call a menu, like a food menu from like for a restaurant. And so it has a couple of pages. I'm gonna go ahead and focus on plugging in a reading page, a writing page, math page, an activity page, and so forth, with, you know, the curriculums that I have ordered here as well. And we're gonna do expo markers, and we're gonna repeat the activity over and over. Usually I print out activities and I print out a couple of them because Andrew learns through repetition. But this way, if I just insert the activity or the curriculum here, he'll be able to do the expo marker a couple times, and the sheet will not be wasted. So I got that idea, I think from Pinterest or something. So I ordered some of these folders, and I also have his ABCs here, a couple of ABCs. These also, it's wear and tear. So you kind of, if you know it rips, then we start all over, but it's pretty much the ABCs. And then this one's Christian one, so it's a faith-based one, so I love this. And I also have, they're laminated, and I also have it in a smaller version, so I like to go over these as well. And on one of the videos, guys, that I shared before, he spelled the ABCs. So like, it may seem that your child on the special needs or on the spectrum is not learning, but if you sit there and you do an activity or a curriculum and you do repetition, they're learning. They're just learning at their own time. So we have to not like give up on them. Just keep on teaching them, and repetition, because Andrew sees the ABCs a lot in this way, and then even like this way here. Also in his schoolroom, he does have like the ABCs over there as well, which he will read off as well. He was able to spell the whole thing, guys. I was so excited. Like, if you haven't seen that video, it's one of the milestones video that I shared not too long ago. Anyway, so we also have a printer, and I have some activities here that I print out for him. So we do, this is another way that he learns a lot, is by doing tracing. I printed out a couple of these, like, let's say like 10 of them, and we do it every day. Hey, you're gonna trace how to spell leaves, how to spell turkey, things, family, corn. And you may think that it's not sticking, guys, but it's sticking. So then we also have the ABCs trace as well. And like I said, he'll go over that every day. And then we have some activities here. This is more on the Christian based. So I'm obviously gonna teach him about our Lord, Jesus Christ, our Savior, instill in them to love one another, to know who God is. And then I also have the fruits of the Spirit that we've been working on. I've been doing that with them. And so I have all the fruits here: love, patience, joy, kindness, peace, goodness. We have the basket of fruits of the Spirit. And these, again, I print out a couple of them so I can do this with him every other day or every day for the week. We've also been working on books, so you could print out your own books. You just cut it and you have a little book. This one is Jesus Heals a Sick Woman. So it talks about that story. And then let's see, what else do I have? I have this worksheet here that everything I print multiples. God made me special. Indeed, he made Andrew and Eli and Isaiah special, and all of your children special. So this one, it goes with writing your name, how old they are, their favorite food, favorite animal, favorite color, and favorite activity. And although Andrew is nonverbal, I still know his favorite food. I still know his favorite animal, his favorite color, his favorite activity, you know? And so here, I'm gonna go ahead and print out a picture of them and do it there. And yeah, guys, so this is what we're working on right now, as far as like activities go. But I did want to share some curriculums here. Although Andrew is technically in 2nd grade, I do want to say that he is not performing in 2nd grade right now, and that's okay. That's okay. We're still doing kindergarten. So this is these are also like small little curriculums that I have not made the plunge to purchase an expensive curriculum, just because I feel like Andrew will not benefit and then learn at that level of, if I was to purchase a 2nd grade curriculum right now, it's going to be a lot of hard stuff, like multiple, like 2-digit subtraction and just things that he's not even like there yet. So it's okay. we're gonna take it at Andrew's pace. So I have the phonics here, and here I go ahead and print out the worksheets. I go and print out the specific worksheets that we're working on, and the things that I know as Andrew's teacher that he's able to handle, or like he loves rainbows. I'm looking at this page right now. So I would like print this on the printer, and that way we get to keep the actual book a little bit longer. I used to just the first time that I was buying him stuff, I used to just go right along and have him have him work straight on it. But sometimes he would just get distracted and just start coloring everywhere. And so that's why I've purchased these folders right here, so I can go ahead and print this out from his curriculum and put it here. And I get to keep these longer because I would buy these every couple months. He would just get carried away, and you know, sometimes it's okay, like he's just gonna get carried away. I was just looking at a picture here, guys, that I'm gonna be sharing on my next video. I think Andrew went to the dentist, and guys, I have a story to tell there. It was very, I'll share on my next video how that went. And then so we have this one again, everything is still kinder because he's still there, and I just love these activities. And guys, it just reminds me of like our childhood. When I look at these worksheets, I remember our teachers giving us things like this, and just, you know, working on this letter and working on that letter and 3-letter words, and guessing, you know, the beginning of a letter here, like guess that. I don't know, it just brings so many memories that I'm like, I wish I was young again and I could go back. So this one is ages 5 through 6. And this one's a workbook. It has a little bit of everything. It has the writing, the phonics, reading and language arts, it has counting, and it has math. And guys, I guess I would ask you, if you have a special needs child, how do you guys navigate math in particular? I have not seen Andrew respond to that just yet. So I'm very curious how you guys navigate that, if there has been success. Maybe I just need to give it a little more time and he'll get there. And then science, this book we haven't really touched on. We have tried science kits, and it's too much for Andrew. He just wants to open everything, and then there's certain directions to the science kits that we've purchased that you can't really miss or not include, and then he just gets too overstimulated. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe we can try science in a few months from now or next year, but right now it's too much for him. And so I have another workbook here. Same thing, it has a couple of things. It has reading, writing, and then math skills. It's this one here. And then learn to read activity book. This one I have not yet seen either. So most of these I did purchase new. I wanted to show you guys, you know, I don't want to show you the ones that have been scribbled all over with Andrew, but we're starting with the fresh batch of curriculums here, of lessons and all of that. And I have a new system, that way I could just print them out and then keep these longer, so I don't have to keep purchasing these books. So this one also, a lot of activity, a lot of learning. There's that. And let's see what else. I did also purchase this book, guys. I want to get a little more insight. So it's The Habits of Happy Kids by Sean Covey. There's this one. This one's more for me to learn so I can teach my kids good habits and how to be happy, you know. And let's see, something else I wanted to show you. Andrew has been very big on coloring and drawing and all of that, so I purchased a couple of these, and I'll show you guys as I make videos. He is getting very creative with drawing, and I'm able to see that he absolutely drew a tree, or he drew a sun, he drew like little things here that are a flower, a snowman. And so I want to go ahead and put his work up on that wall over there in his room. And yeah, so other than that, guys, the pencils, colors, erasers, paper, construction paper, he paints a lot. We have canvases, we have paint brushes, the scissors, everything else that comes with homeschooling. I'm not gonna show, but I am super excited to start this new method of teaching him. And so I have all of these here that I'm gonna be taking off from worksheets here and there. And I encourage you guys to just take it at your own pace, and don't be discouraged if your son or daughter or children are not, picking up right away. I guess I'm talking to the special needs because that's all I know just yet. And we do have Elijah. He's 3. He's picking up pretty quick, but it's still like he's not concentrating as much, but that's okay. He's 3. He's just 3, so we are super excited for this year to see what else Andrew can show us that he's learning. So far, I've seen that he knows his full ABCs. He can write them. He can say them. He's been singing them since he was 2.5 or so. He knows how to spell. He showed us that recently. I was super excited to know that there's connections in his brain that do allow him to spell. That was very an emotional day, an exciting day for me. What else has he shown us? Oh, he's also spelled his name. He spelled capital A and then everything else lowercase, and the D was backwards, so it's a B. But that's a common mistake that even like neurotypical kids do. So I'm just like, I'll take it. What else? Guys, every milestone that he's meeting, I'm just celebrating like no other, because I just honestly never knew that he would be able to get there. I just thought, the doctors say he's always going to be a 2-year-old, or he's always going to have this mindset or something. The stories that I hear, even some people assume or think, and I'm just like, that couldn't be further than the truth. I know that Andrew's going to get there, and he's gonna show us off. Like, he's gonna say, I can do this, I'm able to do this, and all at his timing. And so yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. That's the story of us on why we decided to homeschool, on how God prepared us without even knowing that we were gonna embark this journey. And I just hope that this encourages you guys to take the leap of faith. If that's how you feel, if you feel in your heart, pray about it. Ask God to allow peace in this transition, so you guys can all have a smooth transition if you're pulling them out of school. And then I guess one more thing I don't want to forget to touch on is keep a small village around, like whether it's family members, whether it's like my kids, they see family members, they have cousins, and then I have friends that have also like kids on this special needs. We visited friends that are walking the same walk, so Andrew gets to see them, and my other 2 get to spend time with the other siblings that don't have autism. There's church. Get connected to church, get connected to a mom's group. I attend a mom's group of special needs moms, and this specific group is it's 5 of us. I want to say 5 of us, and it's all of us have special needs children, specifically autism. There's a lot of special needs out there, but all of us, it's like the autism. So we share that in common, and we learn, and maybe one day we get to hang out a little bit more. Everyone has their busy schedule, but I would say find a community. There's co-op. There's a lot of I don't know how to call it. Like, a lot of people assume just because you're homeschooled, the kids are going to be weird, or the kids are not going to talk or not be, out there. But man, I'll tell you what, my 3-year-old has conversations with adults. He enjoys that adult interaction, the cousin interaction. He's not staying behind. He's not being weird. He's not going to stay quiet in one corner. We're teaching him, we're being intentional, we're having conversations with him day and night, both me and my husband. In fact, he will try to like get into our conversations, or like, okay, Eli, like it's mommy and daddy's turn to talk. But even Isaiah and our future kids, we're gonna have that open mind to be teaching and being intentional with all of our children, not just Andrew, and not just give Andrew extra time just because he's special needs, where we have to be fair with all our children. And homeschooling intentionally, your kids are not going to be that what people assume homeschooling kids are and all of that. It's kind of silly to put everyone in a box, because there's also kids that attend public school that are a little socially awkward too, you know. So it's like, it's not just homeschooling and it's not just public. It's literally like case by case. How are they at home? How are the parents at home? A lot goes into it. So sometimes I'm just like, if you have that fear that your kids are going to be weird or not talk if you homeschool them and you pull them out, that's another thing that I want to debunk. Like, that's not true at all. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for being here, for watching. And I do want to give a special thanks to my friend for giving me a shout out. You know who you are, and all the subscribers that are here due to her. I really appreciate it. I've seen, you know, my channel grow from one day to another. I was just like, oh my goodness, what's going on? And so it turns out that my friend had given me a shout out, so I really appreciate it. And I will go ahead and probably do another reintroduction on who we are. I still haven't brought my husband along. I do want to bring him on one of these videos here, and just we're here to help one another, to share our experiences, to like I said, our next video is going to be how Andrew and our whole dentist experience went. I want to share that with you guys, so you guys can be prepared or know how to navigate it if you have not been through that just yet. You know, I'm not sure how old your kiddos are, but it was an experience, and I think it's worthy of sharing, and it can help a person or two. But I do want to thank you guys for being here, for watching, for the likes, for the comments, for sharing my video to anyone that may see value in it. And I'll go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Until next time, I hope you guys have a great day. God bless you. Bye-bye.